Hey, what is going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Siege with another day in the life and the crazy life, excuse me, that is the digital asset space. Good morning. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to each and every one of you. Hope you're having an absolute outstanding day and even better evening. Listen, Sam Bankman-Fried, FTX, the SEC, the CFTC, members of Congress, how did this happen? A lot of people think and mistakenly think that this is just a one-time occurrence with Sam Bankman-Fried. This whole 2022 thing just happened, and everyone should be shocked and surprised. And everyone seems to be shocked and surprised. The fact of the matter is this has been going on since as early as 2017 with Sam Bankman-Fried, FTX, and Alameda Research. 2017. This dude was taken to court, himself and Alameda taken to court in 2019. How is it, I ask you, how is it that this dude is allowed to roam the halls of Congress, stroll into the CFTC, and stroll into the offices of the SEC and CFTC? How is it possible? How does this dude get celebrities endorsing his exchange in 2021 and 2022 when the smoke is out there in 2017, brought to light in 2019? How does that happen? I'm going to share the proof of the court case and hearings in 2019. In 2019, how is this dude, I ask you, how is this dude allowed to walk and roam the halls of Congress and the offices of the CFTC and the SEC? He did this in 2021 and 2022 when the racketeering was taking place and manipulation was taking place in 2017, brought to a United States court in 2019. That members of Congress are taking donations from this dude in 2021 and 2020 and 2020. He's roaming the halls of Congress and the offices of the CFTC and the SEC. How is that possible? How is that possible? Who is opening the doors for this dude? Do you think you and I, with having been brought to court multiple times for racketeer, manipulation, conspiracy, fraud, wire fraud, and the likes, you think we're roaming the halls of Congress? You think we're stepping into the offices of the CFTC and SEC? How did that happen? Who is allowing that to happen? How did this guy get put in place? I just can't help but believe that this dude was put in place by the powers that be to take down the players, the major players in crypto. Unbelievable. I'm going to share this with you guys. You're not going to believe that this took place. Because everyone thinks, oh, it just happened 2022, crypto contagion. Oh my God. No, 2017. Before the United States judicial system and federal court in 2019. Unfreaking believable. Unfreaking believable. All right, guys, listen, this is your XRP Ripple daily news. And around 0 to 10 minutes, I'm going to go to market cap real quick because, you know, this is a crypto channel. And this is why, you know, the channel gets the whole shadow ban going on all the time. This is why. This is why. All right, the total cryptocurrency market cap is 891 billion. The Bitcoin dominance is 36.5%. Not a great number. Bitcoin is trading at $16,932. again. Ethereum is trading at $1,281 again, and XRP is trading at 38.9 cents. Yeah, again, again, the market, guys, is doing what the market does. I don't even know where to begin, but let's start here. Crypto Law lays it out and shares another great article by that lady. I don't know if I should say that chick, that gal, Rosalind Layton. Today's column in 4 is by Rosalind Layton. She gets to the crux of why Gary Gensler is lost at sea on crypto, and if he doesn't change course, another FTX is going to happen. How do you have a guy? And again, I don't know what the court case outcome was, but the allegations are there. You said you're Jerry Gensler, you're here to protect retail investors. The allegations were there. The smoke was there in the United States court. In the United States court. FTX US started after the court case. How do you let it happen? Where are the charges? Where is the enforcement action? No enforcement action, but you bring enforcement actions against BlockFi with no criminal charges or alleged allegations of fraud. You bring enforcement actions against Library with no fraud allegations. You bring freaking enforcement actions against Ripple without a single fraud allegation, criminal allegation, and you let FTX go, Sam Bankman-Fried. Why is that? For the life of me, can't understand it. The only possible thing that it can be that this dude was put there and given access, opened doors. Someone's opened the doors. We have to ask ourselves, who is doing that and why? Following the collapse of FTX, Rosalind Layton writes, the second largest digital asset exchange in the world, U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission Chairman Gary Gensler repeated senseless talking points about crypto regulation, insisting that the SEC's rules are very clear on crypto and that FTX, like Terra Luna and Celsius before it failed because they were not registered. Even as hundreds of billions of dollars in investors' holdings vaporize, and the evidence of staggering fraud at FTX was quickly apparent. Since 2017, Gensler still believes that investor protection in crypto begins and ends with a still yet undefined and maybe impossible process of registering cryptocurrencies. As we like to say in this channel, digital assets. Few, if any, understand what Gensler is talking about. There is no guide on how a line of code that is used on a decentralized blockchain ledger can be registered as a security, or under what circumstances or who files the forms, how frequently or what information needs to be included, or what it is supposed to accomplish. Moreover, instead of publishing those rules that Gensler repeatedly insists are very clear, his SEC opts to selectively sue companies and individuals. It has been an expensive, grindingly slow and messy failure. While the FTXs of the world destroy retail investor wealth. That is the key, destroying retail investor wealth. If I said it once, I've said it 1,000 times in this channel. There is a war going on. We can no longer afford to be naive about the real war that is taking place. You and I people in the digital asset space, crypto companies have decided to walk away from the traditional finance and banking system. Who is unhappy about that? That's who's waging the war. While the FTXs of the world destroy retail investor wealth and faith in the crypto marketplace. Faith in the crypto marketplace. Well, if you walk away from crypto, where are you going to walk into? We're going to walk back into TradFi and the banking system. You get it? That's the war that's going on. Let me say this again, because this is so important. It says, while the FTXs of the world destroy retail investor wealth and faith in the crypto marketplace at an enormous scale and speed. Some people, like Kevin O'Leary and Bill Ackman, or whoever the heck, Bill Ackman, says, you know, SBF, you know, I mean, he's just a brilliant dude. He's so innocent. Right? I mean, he's so innocent. Filed 11/2 of 2019. Well, you know what? Let me share this audio with you guys first, because you're going to want to listen to this. Take a listen to this. This is from Hussein Faraj. Hussein Faraj had the unfortunate pleasure of meeting Sam Bankman-Fried, Dan Friedberg, FTX, and Alameda. He is the CEO and founder of New Genesis. He exposed Sam Bankman-Fried to the SEC, and they didn't do a single thing about it. I'm going to share this article with you guys as well. They didn't do a single thing about it. Oh my goodness, take a look at this. Let me let you listen to this first. Take a listen to Hussein Faraj here. This was Mario Nafal did a Twitter Spaces. Tons of people showed up, thousands of people on his Twitter Spaces. Elon Musk hopped in, hopped out. This is in a second, 30 seconds or so, you're going to hear from the CEO who had a partnership at one time with Alameda and FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried. And he's going to tell the story. He tells the story actually on another channel, another video of how they corrupted him, or how they ruined his business and took him down. But this is about understanding that this contagion, as they want to call it, just happened in 2022. Take a listen.
Find out is what actually happens internally inside the centralized unit. So this is where these guys came into it. So they've created a system which can operate to allow what happened to happen. So last month I was on this channel, a few weeks ago I was on this channel, and one of the FTX insiders came out and said it's impossible for them to be able to have synthetics or not paired one-to-one relationship. And when we argued, he came up with a term which said they've got a trade engine or a payment engine which they're utilizing.
And just Zero Sum is on stage right now, I think, unless it's glitching for me. Zero Sum, are you still there?
I have to thank him. He's the one that made me aware of exactly what they're doing in
Zero
terms of
Zero Sum was what he's still there. Zero Sum is a legend. He's one of the best insiders we've had, who gave us hours of his time, and honestly. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, it's because of him I actually was able to determine what they were actually trying to do. And again, this is speculation and not actually proven fact. Because unless we get
I'll let him comment since you mentioned him. Zero sum, go ahead, bro.
Listen to this part, guys.
No, I mean, I think people are kind of on the right gist, right? But I mean, when it boils down to it, right, just remember that you can't blow up an exchange, right? That at the end of the day, it's a tech platform, right? It's an execution system. It's meant to execute. The only way you can blow up is leverage and misuse of funds, right? FTX would never and should never obviously operate and trade within its own system. And that's where the big issue comes in, right? He has Alameda, and Alameda is now trading within that centralized exchange. And that's where you can do anything from that point, right? Then you can do things. So what we've seen is the contagion that spread through the market, right? It didn't touch places like Kraken or OKX because these companies operate as purely just as an execution platform. They don't have a trading system attached to it, right? Alameda was that trading system that they were using within FTX, and that's the reason why it's blowing up. I mean, it's as simple as that. But I'll just let Hussein keep going because I don't know what he was about to say. I led him on to, but just continue. But that you are right there, Hussein. Right, it should just be a tech platform that executes trades. It should never have operated within a trading capacity or taken leverage within its own system.
Correct. Even under the terms and agreements, I agree with both. So, when we're saying they're not aware of anything like this ever happening before and Sam having no knowledge, you need to go into, I think it was 2017, November the 20th, if I remember right. There was a case which was brought up against FTX and Alameda, right? And it was about, and there's actually one in 17 and one in 2019. So they were already aware of.
One in 2017 and one in 2019. One in 2017, one in 2019. That is the CEO, Hussein Faraj of New Genesis, and they had a crazy tech platform, and they had their own coin. It was called New Coin. They entered into a partnership with FTX and a market maker called Alameda Research, and they loaned 200 million coins to FTX. The agreement was to provide a market-making service through Alameda Research to keep the token at a certain price, to help to provide liquidity, and something like 38 cents, and blah, 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 blah. They and FTX and Alameda essentially went into fraud mode and destroyed their token and their coin and the company as well. Absolutely fascinating story. I'm going to get into that later. So here is the 2019, November 2nd. You can see right here, filed November 2nd of 2019. It's a United States District Court for the Northern District of California, San Francisco Division. Consensus Law. Attorneys for plaintiff Bitcoin manipulation abatement. That's the company that he was talking about here. Bitcoin manipulation abatement. Take a listen, right?
Of that Alameda, there was already allegations of exactly what we're discussing right now that's happened in 2017 and 2019. So the idea that Sam had no idea it was possible or never investigated something like this or never touched it, I mean, it's just go online and just look up I think it's, I'll get you the right details. I don't have them in front of me, but it was something filed in San Francisco. I think it was the 4th of November. It was a court filing, Bitcoin manipulation. I think it was Bitcoin manipulation abatement.
There it is. That's the attorneys that's the filing right here. Here's Bitcoin Manipulation Abatement LLC. Complaint for conspiracy to participate and participation. And by the way, that's versus, let me make sure I read that. Bitcoin Manipulation Abatement LLC versus FTX Trading Ltd, Alameda Research LLC, Alameda Research LTV, and it's got parentheses BVI. I think that might be because that's the Bahamas place. Samuel Bankman-Fried, Gary Wang, Andy Krogan, Constance Wang, Darren Wong, and Caroline Ellison. Complaint for conspiracy to participate in participation in an enterprise engaged in a pattern of racketeering activity in violation of 18 USC 1962 and RICO, R-I-C-O. Cryptocurrency market manipulation in violation of 7 USC 1, use of deceptive or manipulative device, and price manipulation, aiding and abetting price manipulation, and violation of 7 USC, violation of California Corp Code, negligence, fraud, civil conspiracy, unfair business practices, and violation of CalBiz Improved Code 700. Here's one right here. We'll be using this in later in the Celsius case: unjust enrichment, restitution, constructive trust, and accounting. Demand for a jury trial. Again, I don't know the results of this. So all the Twitter sleuths and all the XRP army can find the results of this court case if they won or lost. But these were the charges brought against Sam Bankman-Fried, Alameda, and you heard the names. This is the demand for a jury trial. Here it is. Plaintiff, Bitcoin Manipulation Abatement LLC, buying through its undersigned attorneys for a complaint against defendants FTX Trading, and I read all those names there, all the different names, right? Plaintiff, Bitcoin Manipulation Abatement is informed and believes, and thereon alleges that defendants and each of them are well known among cryptocurrency traders for being principal manipulators of the Bitcoin spot and Bitcoin derivatives market. Share this tweet here from Simon Dixon from Bank to the Future. We managed to get, this is 2022's tweet, just 7 hours ago. We managed to get Sam Bankman-Fried to straight up admit that the FTX spot and margin hot wallets were commingled, including Alameda FTX account, backing a Bitcoin loan to go short or VC invest with illiquid FTT tokens as collateral which means custody. People depositing their crypto get wrecked. Jesse Powell from the Kraken Exchange says, Sam Bankman-Fried is completely full of crap about how margin trading works. He's saying that the whole exchange operated on a net account equity model, and anybody could borrow anything at any moment from clients' funds or from nowhere. That's not how it should work. Oh my gosh, this guy is trying to pull the wool over everybody's eyes. And why is mainstream media trying to say, oh, this is a dude, and this is kind of a thing that he did, I challenge, John Deaton says, Bill Eggman and Kevin O'Leary to watch this 9-minute interview and then affirm your belief that he is being honest. I don't believe that you can. George Stephanopoulos, to his credit, held firm, getting an answer to the most important question at the end. Then the lawyer prep thing comes out. He's trying to pull the wool over everyone's eyes. The question is, why is mainstream media trying to paint this picture as some innocent dude? Why is that happening? So let me finish reading this lawsuit in 2019. What if the CFTC and the SEC had done their job in 2019? That's saving $8 to $10 billion. Plaintiff, BMA, is informed and believes and there alleges that defendants, each of them are well known amongst the cryptocurrency traders for being principal manipulators of the Bitcoin spot and Bitcoin derivatives market. Plaintiff, BMA, I'll just say BMA, is informed and believes and there alleges that during the time period from November 20th of 2017 and until the present time, which would be November of 2019, defendants Sam Bankman-Fried Mr. Wang, Mr. Crowan, Mrs. Wang, Mr. Wong, and Ellison conspired to participate and participated in a long-running enterprise within the meaning of Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, the RICO Act. Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act is defined in 18 U.S.C., engaging in a continuing pattern of racketeering activity involving, among other unlawful acts, operating an unlicensed money transmitting business in violation of 18 U.S.C., money laundering in violation of 18 U.S.C., engaging in monetary transactions and property derived from specific unlawful activity in violation of U.S.C. 18, wire fraud in violation of 18 U.S.C., which John Deaton appropriately pointed out. He could be brought to justice just on that alone, behind bars on that alone. Interstate transportation of stolen property in violation of 18 U.S.C., and perpetrating a manipulative, fraudulent, and deceptive scheme to manipulate the prices of certain cryptocurrency derivatives, including without limitation, Bitcoin futures contracts, Bitcoin swaps, as well as the cash prices of cryptocurrencies, including without limitation, cash Bitcoin in violation of 7 U.S.C. The sheer magnitude of the defendant's unlawful activity is truly staggering. Again, this lawsuit brought in 2019. And you're trying to tell me that the members of Congress, the CFTC, and the SEC knew nothing about this lawsuit? And let this dude operate this exchange and set up an FTX US exchange? Why did they let this happen? Why did they let FTX go and start and do this thing that he's doing? Why? Why did they let it happen? Think about the players that they took down, and they sacrificed the retail investors. What was the agenda? All right, so only defendant, sheer magnitude of unlawful activity is truly staggering. Only defendant Alameda's unlicensed over-the-counter money transmitting business operated by defendants in Berkeley, California since 2018, admittedly processed 30 million of illegal money transfers each day. Plaintiff, BMA, is informed, believes, and there alleges that the cryptocurrency derivatives, the prices of which were manipulated by the defendants, and each of them, as further alleged herein, trade on at least 35 derivative exchanges, including, without limitation, regulated commodity derivative exchange, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, and the Chicago Board Options Exchange, the CBOE and the CME. How is that possible that that happened? I hope you guys can do your homework and see what there was a court ruling on this one. In this case, what happened? Regulated, so they were trading without limitation on the CME and the CBOE. How? Plaintiff is informed and believes and therein alleges that defendants and each of them illicit profits from the herein alleged continuing racketeering activity exceeded $150 million, which were misappropriated from numerous cryptocurrency traders. Defendants and each of them were caught red-handed when about 2100 EDT on September 15th of 2019, and acting in furtherance of the manipulative and deceptive scheme as alleged here and above. Defendants in each of them made 2 illicit, unsuccessful attempts to manipulate prices of Bitcoin futures. How is this dude doing commercials, signing up celebrities, getting naming rights for stadiums? How does that happen? How does that happen? And acting in furtherance of manipulative and deceptive scheme as alleged here and above, defendants in each of them made 2 illicit, unsuccessful attempts to manipulate prices of Bitcoin futures listed on Binance Futures Exchange. Binance Cryptocurrency Futures Exchange. One such attempt was perpetrated by dumping futures contracts for about 255 Bitcoins, valued at approximately $2,626,000 onto the newly opened Binance SAFU futures market at market prices and 2-minute time interval with the specific purpose to cause a calculated artificial price move that would trigger cascading executions of stop loss orders and liquidations of Bitcoin futures long positions on Binance and propagate to the other exchanges, which is called a liquidation cascade. In furtherance of the alleged manipulative and deceptive scheme, defendants in each of them deliberately chose the newly open and thinly traded derivatives exchange and the time of the lowest global Bitcoin futures trading liquidity on Sunday, 2100 Eastern, to maximize the impact of their illicit and unlawful manipulation attempt on the price of Bitcoin futures. Both times, defendants and each of them were caught by Binance market surveillance functionality, and their manipulation attempt were thwarted. Plaintiff is informed and believes there alleges that defendants and each of them had continuously engaged in the same type of illicit and unlawful conduct on Binance and dozens of other exchanges during the relevant period, from November of 2017 to November of 2019. Therefore, the defendants and each of them conspired to participate and participated in a long-running, continuing enterprise engaging in a pattern of racketeering activity as alleged here and below. You guys get the picture, but I want you to read the acts that they violated here. Is informed, plaintiff BMA is informed and believes, this is United States stuff, okay? And believes that therein alleges that by engaging in this conduct and the comment further described herein, defendants and each of them have engaged, are engaging, have engaged and are engaging and are about to engage in acts and practices that violate the Commodity Exchange Act and the Commodities Future Trading Commission's regulations promulgated thereunder, specifically by both of them, CFTC and the Commodity Exchange Act, specifically by using a deceptive or manipulative device in connection with cryptocurrencies, future contracts, cryptocurrency swaps, and cash cryptocurrencies. In addition, by manipulating the prices of the crypto futures contract, cryptocurrency swaps, and cash crypto, defendants in each of them violated these sections here, and there's like 6 of them. Yet, additionally, this conduct of defendants in each of them and the conduct further described herein constitutes negligence, fraud, conspiracy, and unjust enrichment under the state of California. Where was the SEC and the CFTC? How is this dude allowed in the building? How is he allowed to come across and try to put forth some freaking bill for the digital assets? How is it possible? Guys, you got to understand what is going on here. Instead of warring, instead of having these 14-year-old conversations about technology. Oh, you know, this technology is slow and Lightning Network is this. What are you talking about? The fight is against the powers that be that don't want you to walk away from their liquidity pool. Accordingly, plaintiffs BMA brings this action pursuant to RICO to recover treble monetary damages and attorney. Okay, I don't need to read that. There it is. NBC News put this out. Before his epic fall, Sam Bankman-Fried was hailed as a genius. Some clients saw smoke and mirrors. 3 people who did business with Bankman-Fried and his companies in recent years told NBC News that they lost their money in what they contend were manipulative trading activities. One of those guys is Hussein Faraj, who alerted the SEC about this dude. They're in court in 2019. You're telling me the CFTC and the SEC and members of Congress didn't know? Well, you can say, oh, it's a court case. I mean, how would they know? How do you let a dude walk into the building and propose bills that would affect millions, would infect an entire nation with these charges? How do you let that happen? All right, I'm gonna read that right now. I don't believe. I'm sorry I didn't do better. Bankman-Fried said Tuesday in a message to investors. I'm sorry I didn't do better. And anybody buying that? Anybody believe this? How was he able to set up these exchanges and do what he did? Yet again, the SEC goes after Ripple. Ripple, the poster child, if you will, of the digital asset space. How do you make that? How can you figure out a way to make that make sense? Let me get to 3 people who have dealt with FTX, its executives and its related trading firm Alameda Research, say this debacle differs from other crypto failures. That's because Bankman-Fried's operation involved 2 closely tied entities. One, the large crypto exchange in which investors could trade an array of tokens and derivatives, and the other, Alameda Research, the big trading firm that profited by making markets in crypto and derivatives. This meant not only matching buyers and sellers, but also using its own money to trade. Okay, that's not what I want. So the plaintiff, here it is right here. The contentions of the people who spoke with NBC News are echoed in a 2019 lawsuit brought into federal court against FTX Alameda, Bankman-Fried, and other executives. The plaintiffs and an entity called BMA, Bitcoin Manipulation Abatement LLC, accused the defendants of manipulating crypto markets, causing $150 million in losses to numerous traders. The company moved to dismiss the case. There says the results right here. The company moved to dismiss the case. The company moved to dismiss the case, and the suit was dismissed with prejudice. A court filing shows indicating a settlement was struck. Settlement. The lawyer for the plaintiff did not return a phone call seeking comment. I wonder how much money was gotten in that deal. Interesting. So that's what happened with that case. Settlement was struck, but the allegations were there, right? This is someone who has been able to skate through on money and okay, that's not what I want to see. All right, graduated MIT in 2014. He joined Jane Street Capital, a New York investment firm that trades equities, bonds, options, ETFs, and crypto. Okay. All right. That's not what I want. That's good. That's good. So it's a settlement. FTX, an industry-leading brand endorsed by some of the most trustworthy public figures, Tom Brady and the Major League Baseball, Gisele Bündchen, Steph Curry, the Miami Heat, and backed by an industry-leading set of investors, boasted the document obtained by NBC News. FTX has the cleanest brand in crypto. How is that possible? A lawsuit was brought alleging these charges. And are you saying that the charges didn't happen because there was a settlement? Come on. Come on. FTX and Alameda, as a major crypto exchange and market maker, attracted crypto developers to list their projects for trading. One was Hussein Faraj, chief executive of New Genesis, an Australian blockchain company. Faraj, a decentralized ledging system architect and blockchain forensic expert, struck a deal in 2022 with Alameda to support the launch of NewCoin, a crypto project he and his partners had been working on for 10 years. 10 years. And in a matter of months dealing with FTX and Alameda, nada. All was lost. Alameda represented itself as a partner to the NewCoin's founders. Faraj said, a market maker that would help NewCoin gain traction with investors in the crypto market. The market maker is someone who comes in to support you, Faraj said. At the start of any project during the first month, you will need support. To gain that support, a contract reviewed by NBC News shows New Genesis agreed to loan Alameda 200 million new coins for 2 years. At the end of the period, Alameda would either return the coins to New Genesis or buy them back at 38 cents each, or buy them at 38 cents each. Faraj expected that Alameda would support the price of NewCoin in a narrow band as its agreement with Alameda had stated. Instead, Faraj said over a short period, Alameda dumped huge numbers of the coins onto the market at a depressed price. And Kevin O'Leary and Bill Ackman are backing this dude. Shameful. At the same time, Faraj says, when he tried to buy NewCoin to counter the selling pressure, Alameda prevented New Genesis from doing so, effectively destroying confidence in the project. With his exchanges, he prevented genuine buyers. Again, why did this dude come in and was allowed to take down Celsius, Voyager, Three Arrows Capital? Why was he allowed to come in and take down the major players in crypto? You gotta think about that. Allowed to do it. With his exchanges, he prevented genuine buyers, including ourselves, from restoring the price, Faraj said of Bankman-Fried. And again, Faraj went to the SEC or wrote to the SEC about what was going on. And Faraj says in his own words, they did nothing. They didn't, I believe he said they didn't even reply. Or alert the authorities in the particular entity's jurisdiction. They did nothing. I'm going to say it again. With his exchanges, he, Sam Bankman-Fried, prevented genuine buyers, including ourselves, Faraj, from restoring the price. Faraj said Alameda later confirmed to New Genesis that it had dumped 800,000 coins on the market. When New Genesis threatened to sue FTX, it offered to pay $600,000 to settle. I wonder how much they offered BMA. I wonder if we're going to be able to get in contact. I'm probably sure there was some kind of NDAs or something that you can't say in settlement. BMA, Bitcoin Manipulation Abatement LLC. According to an email to Faraj from Alameda, reviewed by NBC News, this represents a windfall to you, but we want to end this dispute and not hear from you again, the email stated. This represents a windfall to you, quote unquote. Again, this email reviewed by NBC News. This represents a windfall to you, but we want to end this dispute and not hear from you again, the email stated. The offer was refused. Rogers' allegations were confirmed by his partner. Amid the FTX collapse, Ben Armstrong said, every enemy of Sam Bankman-Fried has ever had has reached out to me. Earlier this year, FTX was riding high. It had one major weakness. The investor pitch document said it had one major weakness. It needed to increase the number of individual investors using exchange. FTX had 150,000 monthly traders users and 5 million registered users, roughly 3% of the user base of its larger competitors. We can and will keep growing our consumer user base, both organically and through paid advertising, the document said, but it would be massively valuable to acquire those users much more quickly. The experience of Dave Mastriani, another guy who got taken down, a former crypto enthusiast who is a retired web designer and artist in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, indicates what can happen to a trusting individual investor who followed Bankman-Fried's lead into crypto markets. Mastriani, 64 years old, who became disabled during basic training as a U.S. Marine in Paris Island, liked what he heard about crypto, and in 2019 started investing his money, he said. One of his investments was a crypto token promoted by Bankman-Fried called the Cover Protocol. Mastriani took about $10,000 and bought into the token in 2020, he said. If you got an exchange like FTX and you're global, people think you're a person of integrity. So I ended up buying because Sam's name was on it. Here it is right here. Cover Protocol, Cover Token, the team, core dev, advisor, Sam Bankman-Fried, quote unquote advisor. Andre Crone was involved in this. In any case, this dude tried to, he invested 10. He was up about $300,000 to $400,000. The token took off after MasterCity bought, but when he tried to cash out, he said he could not get his transaction executed. A message would pop up stating insufficient liquidity for his trade, he said. I tried to sell when I was up $300,000 and $400,000, he said. Soon the token crashed, wiping out all his paper profits. Mastriani described what happened to him as a pump and dump scheme, and his allegations are similar to those in a 2019 lawsuit, which accused FTX, Alameda, and Bankman-Fried of conducting such schemes to mislead and profit off of crypto market participants, retail investors. Again, I ask you, how was this dude allowed to operate? And not only to operate, to roam the halls of Congress and strut into the offices of the CFTC and SEC. How is it possible that happened? All right, guys, listen. Who's opening those doors? Who's open? The dude that came, he was coming in to destroy the crypto space. Period, point blank, full stop, end of story. Who put him in place? Who sent him into this space? All right, guys, listen, this wraps up your XRP Ripple Daily News in around 0 to 10 minutes. I hope it has been of value to you. If it has, do me a favor and hit that like button. It helps with the YouTube algorithm to help to get this channel out to more people. Damn the shadow ban. We're going to continue to do videos, and we're going to continue to put out this content to tell the truth about what's really going on in this space. If you enjoyed the hangout, please consider subscribing to the channel and ringing that notification bell so you know whenever we go live or whenever we upload a video. I'm going to end this one like I do all my videos and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather that we remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating? Or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know. That the battle for you has already been fought. And the victory is yours. Go get it.